Welcome to the Inevitable Radio Show with your host, William Sumner. William Sumner is the real deal of success coaching. Tonight's topic, the real secret. Over 90% of listeners cannot or do not do anything after watching the movie The Secret. Bill has solved the law of attraction puzzle in a clear, concise, and powerful way.
Thank you for that great introduction, and good evening to Denver and the Front Range and all 4 points of the compass. And out there in internet land, all my listeners all over the country and internationally, thanks for tuning in tonight. We are here on the Inevitable Radio Show because the message that we are working very hard to help you understand is that you are inevitable. Why you came here to be who you are inevitable. And one of the things is that 90% of the viewing public, when they watch the movie or they read the book, while they love it, they're very well intended about it, most of them, 90% plus, have a real challenge with actually doing something different in their life. And there's very specific reasons as to why that is. And a lot of the reasons lie in the neural patterns and the neural programs that you use to create reality. Now, when you hear me talk tonight about patterns and program, what that means is a program is nothing more than your brain creating a meaning. You have been taught since you were have conscious memory, and you've reinforced that teaching with experience. You've learned some of that was correct. You've reinforced some of that. You've changed some of that meaning and reality creation. So in other words, when your brain and you look at a scenario and you think, this is safe, this is dangerous, this is happy, this is very sad, or this is just utter ambivalence or apathy to me. Those are patterns, and you know that 3 people can stand on a street corner and each one of them sees the traffic going by in a different fashion, in a different way. 3 people will see a challenge that happens in life. They will see a reward happen in life. Think of those people that get rewards in life out there, and they'll create it as pain or challenge. They'll say, oh, yeah, well, wait till the other shoe falls. I know it's about to fall. They won't even take will not even take a reward and create a great meaning out of it. Meanwhile, some of us will take meanings that are challenging and turn it into greatness. There's the old joke that I grew up on, and you'll get some of my programming as I was a little tyke. My dad always told the story about the 2 boys at Christmas time. One was a pessimist and one was an optimist. And the pessimist boy, because he was always sad, the parents did a really great job of taking care of him, and he always had the best presents. And he'd always unwrap everything underneath the Christmas tree. And he would go, oh, is this all there is? And, I didn't really get everything that I wanted. And he had everything in the world under that tree for him, and it wasn't good enough. Now, for the optimist son, because they knew what he could create, what they did for him at Christmas was they would bring a wheelbarrow full of manure in and dump it at the foot of his bed. And he would wake up and he would be so excited because he'd start digging through that pile of manure, just shrieking with excitement. There's a pony in there somewhere. And that's what I grew up with. That's my message of optimism. I see Bonnie back there grinning behind the glass. She might have heard that story a time or two. What meaning your mind uses to create your reality, in fact, becomes your reality. Now, I'm going to go through very quickly. We've done 6 of them. I'm going to give you about 1 or 2 sentences on each one. I'm going to make them as a direct statement. But these are the secret. These are the key to really waking up tomorrow morning and creating something different, greater different, better different, or for some of you that are actually in pain, getting out of pain. These are the true secrets of life. The first point was ask for what you don't, there's a Freudian slip. Ask for what you want, not what you don't want. So we talked about telling a child don't spill the milk creates a meaning and a pattern in life that's very challenging and very difficult to overcome. You need to know what you want. You need to tell a child, pour the milk carefully, and you need to tell yourself, positive neural commands that I'm going to succeed on this sales call, that I'm going to take this challenging topic with my spouse. I'm going to have a great conversation. We're going to really discuss the great solution for us tonight. It's not about, oh, I hope I don't screw up. I hope this doesn't go wrong. Those are neural commands and neural programs and patterns for a disaster. 2, believe. You need to create the true emotional intensity that's attached with and associated with the thing that you want. Most Americans, because we're a diminished positive culture, meaning when we truly experience positive emotion, most of us are taught to diminish that and, well, it's okay. You know, I talked a little bit about, you know, the young man or woman who gets the Nobel Peace Prize and is taught, oh, well, yeah, I know that was pretty good, but yeah, I guess that was okay. We don't experience the positive emotions at the same intensity and level that we experience negative. When we are upset, angry, frustrated, anxious, depressed about something, you'll get all the reinforcement. You'll get everybody loving you and going, hey, let me tell you my terrible story too. So to truly energize your brain, to get the thing that you want, you must attach great, positive, intense emotions to it. Step 3 was the inspired action that you need to take that is congruent and resonant with the ask and the inspired emotion. Step 4 was, if you believe in these laws, do you practice them? Do you practice them? And many of you that are not as successful, first of all, steps 1, 2, and 3 are going to cover some of why you're not successful or not as successful at the highest level. But you have to practice it and see where it works and see what it doesn't. And then you can begin to make decisions around it. Number 5 was, following that, if you're practicing, are you practicing at a high level? Are you asking for 10 plus on a scale of 1 to 10? Is your demand of your world and your life, is it spectacular? Is it amazing? Is it magnificent? On a scale of 1 to 10, is it 10 plus? Is your emotional attachment a 10 plus? Are the inspired actions 10 plus? And what you'll begin to notice for many people that called in and they had challenges and had problems, the truth is their asks were not that dramatic. And a lot of them, even though they tried to word them in a positive way, they were still in the negative position, meaning, well, this is what I really don't want. I don't want it to look like this. And didn't have a great, clear vision. They didn't have clarity around what it could look like or what they wanted it to look like. So make the ask clear, make the emotional attachment to it. And then we finished up with the top 1%. Here's what they do in reality creation. Most people believe that how today happens to you is based on randomness and luck and a series of events that the universe is just moving along and life is happening to you. And you believe that the way today happens is based on how you react to it. What you begin to understand is you really practice these neural patterns and you begin to practice energy patterns that are contained in the secret. The truth is this: people create today based on thought patterns, requests, focus, and emotions they had yesterday. So they felt something, thought something, and did something yesterday, and the fruit of that labor happens today. So if you felt, thought, and created something great yesterday, most of you get great things today. If you felt, thought, and focused on anxiety or stress or disaster, unfortunately, a lot of you experienced that today, and most of you were taught, well, that's life. That's what happened to me today, and I'm doing the best that I can. When you get in the top 25% of life, the 10 to 25% level, what they do, and this is contained, if you're a Stephen Covey fan, he's got some brilliant work out there. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of them. He talks about be proactive, meaning don't be reactive to life. Don't react to what happens. Be proactive. So be ahead of the disaster, be ahead of the stress and anxiety, and proact with it. And those people generally are pretty powerful. Those people generally get more of what they want. But when you think about it, be proactive is really a very sophisticated way of saying, I'm still reacting to what's happening to me or what I think's going to happen to me.
I want to take a moment to thank you for listening to the Inevitable You podcast. If you are seeking additional information about what we have been talking about, please visit www.theinevitableyou.com.
Top 10%. They go into the future. They create a goal. They say, this is what I want my life to be. So they're not focused on the past. They're not focused on reacting to what today is. They're not focused on proacting with what today is. They are focused on what they want tomorrow to look like. And in that place, they generally will have a better chance and better luck at creating and producing something for themselves that will bring them more of what they want. But here's the secret. Here's the key to how the top 1% do it. The top 1% go into the future. They see what they want. They see it with great clarity. They feel it. They hear it. They know it. They think it. They believe in it. They create all these great verbs around what it actually looks like. And they see it with great clarity. This is beyond visualization, because when you hear about like doing visualization exercises, while that is very, very good, it's only one sensory modality that you use. You also hear your future. You can feel your future. So you go into the complete sensory package and you create your future. You paint it with greatness. Now, here's the key. You take all of that greatness, all of that magnificent in your future, and you bring it back to today. You take all that greatness in your future and you bring it back into today. And when you do that, you're going to think of the person that was in the top 10% and they had a goal that their future tomorrow was going to be great. In reality, they are not seeing and feeling today as great. They will see the future as great. The top 1% see, feel, hear, know the future is great. And they bring it back into today. And their actions, their thoughts, their feelings are going to be a little bit different. So let's go into the top 3 programs that we're going to run, neural programs that we're going to run today that are enhancements for The Secret and enhancements for what we're doing. Now, Bill out in Fort Collins, if you're listening, I hope you're on the air today, because we got cut off last show and he had a question around, I'm overweight. I'm working on trying to lose weight. Why do people not lose weight? And I'm going to give you a very specific example, and I want you to ponder this and think about what this means to you and what this feels like to you, and feel not everybody will have this exact pattern, but you're going to have something very similar to this pattern. In the trade, it's got a very fancy scientific name. It's called a linked neural program. A linked neural program. And what that means, it's very easy. You're linking two things together. Now, most people who are overweight will spend a lot of time saying, I hate being fat. I hate being overweight. I hate diets. Well, it's pretty easy in the don't spill the milk metaphor, or in the secret of knowing what you want, to say, oh, okay, I get it. I want to be thin. I want to be healthy. So you can begin pretty quickly to use that language, and that will help you. That will make you feel better. It will give you more neural resources, more brain power to say, okay, I want to be thin, I want to be healthy. You'll begin to think different thoughts, feel different feelings than when you're sitting there saying, I hate being fat, and I hate being overweight, and I hate diets. So when you make that change, there's still a problem, though. And I'm going to give you one of the most common examples, because I see a lot of people in my client work that have weight or have these kind of body image problems. Think of this person. If you spent a lot of your time, because generally overweight people are not happy at their core. They might be happy on the surface or happy overall, but they're driven by this pain. And they sit there telling themselves, and again, if you look back to the early steps of The Secret, with intensity, with emotional connection, they say, when I'm thin, God, my life's going to be amazing. When I'm thin, I'm going to have everything I want. When I'm thin, it's just going to be awesome. When I'm thin, I'll have the love I want, and I'll have the date that I want, and I'll have the relationship I want, and I'll have the job that I want, I'll have the promotion that I want. When I'm thin, all my pain's going to go away. Because right now, the truth in that person's life is most of my life is miserable because I'm fat. I can't get the right jobs. I got to get 2 airplane seats. My life is a lot of pain. But when I'm thin, and they'll daydream, they'll put a big smile on their face, they'll feel great. Now, some people would say, hey, dude, that's the secret. That's putting the emotional attention, that's putting the creation. That is all true. And if that was the only thing taking place here, when I'm thin, I'll be amazing. Those people are the ones that generally have success at creating thinness. But here's what happens for most overweight people. It doesn't matter what diet you try. You can do the South Beach, you can do the Atkins. Any diet works, you just have to follow it. Most people don't follow it, and they say, well, it's not the diet for me, but it's different. Here's what's going on in their brain. When they try the new diet, the Chinese ginseng diet. Yes, my friend lost a lot of weight on it. I researched it on the internet. That's an amazing diet. And they start to follow it. And they order the herbs from the internet, and they come all the way from China. They start to lose weight. They feel great. They look great. People are beginning to notice. People are saying, you look different. Did you change your hair? Or, what? Oh, you look like you've lost some weight. And here a very interesting thing begins to take place. When you have said with a lot of intensity, when I lose weight, when I'm thin, my life is amazing, and now you're losing weight, that unconscious neural program that you kicked in at a high level, when I'm thin, kicks in. And here's what it says. Okay, time to be amazing. You're losing the weight. You look great. You feel great. You got a new wardrobe even. It's time now to be amazing. It's time to get out of that old relationship. It's time to quit that job. It's time to update your resume. It's time to go out on that great new interview. It's time to declare, I'm going to get that big 6-figure job. I'm going to make a lot of money now. I'm going to go out and interview, and they're going to be sick if they don't hire me because I'm great. Well, as you guys can feel this, what happens for most people that have this pattern of yo-yo success and yo-yo failure, the ego, which contains all our fears and contains all our defense programs and contains the more fearful part of us that wants to protect us, kicks in and says, are you kidding me? You're not amazing yet. You're not great yet. You're not ready for this now. Go back. There's too much danger here. And you're actually sitting there going, I do have to dump this relationship. And I got to ask this amazing person out that's been circling over there in my life. Well, now I have to ask him or her out. And I have to update my resume. And your ego's going, don't quit your job, man. You can't make a house payment. You're not going to land that big job. And your ego, which whispers all your fears while your daydreams and your unconscious not only whispered, but sang the song. It sang your dream that when I'm thin, I'll be love, I'll be pain-free. The ego, which talks to you at the same time, has been waiting patiently to get you at the very incisive point to say, you are not amazing, you are not special, you must go back, you cannot do this. And in that space, you'll go to your favorite party, you'll have your favorite chip and dip, you'll chew it all up, and you'll wake up Sunday morning and go, who could stick on a Chinese ginseng diet? I'm big bone. My metabolism doesn't work right for that kind of diet. And you'll fall off the diet, and you'll go back, and your ego will punish you. It's going to put all the weight back on. It's going to add about 5 pounds to add just to make sure if you ever think about doing that again. And you will run this program. You will discover there is a neural linked program to the state that you say you want. So if you say, I want to be thin, if you say, I'm tired of being depressed. Okay, I get that. I want to be happy. I want to be serene. I want to be calm. There's a neural program running that's attached to I'm calm and serene. If you say, I'm an angry person. All my life I've been angry, and it's cost me relationships, and it's toxic. I don't want to be angry anymore. Okay, you get it. Okay, if I'm not going to be angry, what does that even look like to me? And okay, I want to be fun. I want to laugh. I want to take things with a carefree attitude. But then you have to ask yourself, what state, what neural program, what is the belief that I have connected to me that is a greater fear or a greater pain that's linked to or created to the state that I say that I want? And always, I promise you, always, if you are fighting your weight, if you're fighting depression, if you are fighting some other condition that is your torment, is your demon, you're going to discover that the state that you believe that you want is going to be a challenge for you, and there's going to be another bigger fear waiting for you there. Now, if you're overweight and the doc says, okay, you've got diabetes, we got to chop your feet off and you're going to die in 2 years, well, now all of a sudden the fear of death is greater than the fear of being amazing. So people that are threatened will actually begin to lose weight and may stay there. But when you think about it, you've all heard the term a dry drunk. That's somebody who doesn't drink, but they still have all the alcoholic strategies. A dry drunk, in an overweight metaphor, somebody that loses weight because they're afraid of death, but they obsess about food, they dream about food. They don't feel good about being thin and amazing. Those neural linked patterns is the biggest reason many times why people cannot have the success that they want. And the great news is it's easy to uncover them when you look for them. You've just never been taught to go look for them.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. William will be covering more of the 9 enhancements on the next episode. To learn more about this extraordinary coaching system, please visit our website at www.theinevitableyou.com, where you can begin transforming your life today.